Hi guys, how we doing? Welcome back to the Three Hammers podcast. Just me and Luke this week. Obviously last week we were joined by Jack Sullivan. Fantastic show. Make sure you go back and check that one out if you haven't seen it. But like I say, it's just me and Luke this week. No special guests. How we doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, doing great, mate. Can I say a big thank you for the views for the Southampton video? One of our record videos now. Like, people might laugh and go, "Oh, 8,000 views, not amazing," but for us, incredible views. And really appreciate all the comments. Everything is really good, and it just encourages more to make more content. And obviously, I'm getting in touch with other channels to try and collaborate with them. So yeah, brilliant stuff. Let's start with Southampton. I think that's the only place we can really start.
Yeah.
I said it in my review, really, good, bad and ugly, and I sort of stick with that, really. What did you make of the game? You didn't watch it live, did you? But obviously you did see the highlights.
Yeah, no, unfortunately I missed the game because of work, but I did see the highlights just on Match of the Day, and obviously I've read loads about the game since. So where to start? I actually did see the first half hour of the game, and from the first half hour I saw, we looked alright. And it seemed like it was a really dirty game, game. Like I say, just in that first half hour, there could have been a couple of red cards. It was Tadic went through Hernandez.
Yeah, that was filth as well.
Yeah, that could have been a red card. Obviously, Noble's tackle. I can't remember who he went in on.
Lamina, the new guy.
Yeah, Lamina went in studs up. Disgusting tackle. He should have gone for that.
It has been released of that as well. I don't know if you've seen it, the actual aftermath of the scar down Lamina's leg.
Yeah, disgusting tackle. So Mark was lucky not to go, but it was getting heated, and you could understand why, because every single time, especially on Arnautovic, got the ball, they were going straight through him. They were just kicking him. Same with Hernandez. Every time they got the ball, they were just going straight through him, and they were getting more and more frustrated because the referee weren't really giving anything. Arnautovic obviously got an elbow to the face himself, nothing given. That's how come probably Mark went in high, and then obviously it all came to a head. Arnautovic I don't know what he was thinking. Like, he couldn't have made it more obvious. His arm was up and he just ran towards him and just smashed him. I don't know.
And it was right in front of the ref as well.
Yeah, it was just frustration boiling over, but it was silly. He shouldn't have done it. And off he went.
Gabbiadini's goal, I said it, too similar to the Lukaku goal for me. I don't want to jump on him, but is there question marks on the heart already?
I don't think so. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't think. I mean, seeing the goals, I don't think really any of them were his fault.
Well, obviously, 2 penalties, weren't it? So
yeah, 2 penalties. From the sounds of things, he would have saved the second penalty if Noble hadn't. If Noble hadn't said anything, but no, I don't think the goals were his fault. I mean, the like you say, too similar to last week. Gabbiadini just went straight through the defence. He went straight between the 2 defenders. Ogbonna left it to Font. Font couldn't catch up with him, and it was too simple. Yeah. And then, they just went too easy through the midfield as well. We are so desperate for that holding midfielder.
Oh yeah, we're missing Czech really bad.
Yeah,
we're missing Czech. Or Carvalho hopefully signs any time.
You know, we need someone to plug that gap. At the minute. But the positives, obviously, fantastic. Hernandez off the mark, scored 2 great goals, two typical Hernandez goals. I think 2 real poachers goals. The second one was a brilliant finish.
Oh yeah, and Antonio as well. Positives, unbelievable.
Antonio was fantastic.
Everything we've missed.
Yeah,
power. I said it in the review. At one point, he bounced off 3 players.
Yeah, I saw that. It was a run. He just bombed down the wing, and players just bouncing off him, like, fantastic. Antonio was fantastic. And then obviously the penalty at the end, Zabaleta. It was silly, but I mean, I said to you the other day when we spoke about it, he needs to get into his head. Things like that would never be given against him in a Man City shirt, but he's not going to get them privileges playing for West Ham.
I sent it to you, didn't I? Something like 248 games for Man City, never made a mistake that led to a goal, and then he's done 2 in 2 games.
Yeah, he's going to have to learn very quickly that the refs are not going to be as lenient with him in a West Ham shirt as he was in a Man City shirt. It's wrong that the game's that way, but it is.
Still a good player though. Still.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah. I mean, I love the way that he really puts himself about and he throws himself at everything. No, I'm really pleased with him. He's been great, but yes, it's just a shame. I mean, it was a penalty, but it was soft. So many times you'd see them not given.
Yeah, great to see Declan Rice start as well.
Yeah,
As another
obviously, I only saw the highlights, obviously, but what sort of game did he have?
He did all right. Like I say, again, I'm going to get the Noble gang on me now, but playing next to someone like Noble, no, it's not for him. You know, if it was someone like Chiatti next to him, I think we might have seen, you know, he might have played a little bit more spraying the ball about, but the ball wasn't really played in the midfield. The midfield was being bypassed all the time. It's, again, similar to what you're saying, mate, about needing that block or brick wall in there to sort of break play up. Mm-hmm. Obviously, one more negative, just to finish off. Obviously, Winston Reid got injured. Not good.
No.
And so, did that kill the game plan? Obviously, they set up all planned for Winston to play, but then should a defender like Ogbonna be able to just step in and play?
Yeah, I mean, you'd hope so, wouldn't you? The likes of Ogbonna and Font, they're experienced enough. They should absolutely be able to come in and play, especially seeing as Ogbonna played last week. So, you know, yeah, absolutely. I don't think that's any kind of excuse at all. Is there any word on when Reid will be back?
I think they said after the international break, so not too long. I don't think it was anything that major. So a couple of weeks to rest, and hopefully we should have a full team, and obviously some possibly new players in transfers, but we'll go on to that in a little while. This podcast will go out the day of the Cheltenham game, hopefully, sort of in between, just before kick-off or probably during the game. What do you make of that game? Very quickly, we won't talk about it for too long.
It's a game for the fringe players. It's a game for the kids, but at the same time, it's a game that we have to win. We have to win. We can't. We need to get some confidence in the club. Obviously, there's a lot of players who are going to be rested. It is a game for the kids, but yeah, it's a game we need to win. Okay, yeah, Cheltenham for me. I'd like to see some of the kids play. Again, we're going to call him Seed, because that's what X is calling him, Seedy. Seedy Hakabagovic, or whatever his name is. Hoping to see some of him actually tomorrow. Hopefully he plays. Holland's been getting rave reviews. They beat Spurs 3-2 yesterday. It'd be nice to see him come on as well. I'm hoping to see Tony Martinez. He scored a great goal apparently as well in that game. Yeah, I've seen it actually. I saw it on Twitter earlier. Hoping to see Martinez as well. Probably Rice will start. Maybe Ginge as well. Mm-hmm. Probably Adrian. It'll be a strong team, but probably a few mix and matches in there. Yeah. We may see Antonio get a couple of about 20 minutes just to carry on his fitness. But yeah, it's a must-win. Huge game. Just to get their confidence, because if they lose, I fear on what's going to happen on Saturday. Yeah, so a couple of bits of transfer news floating around. Snodgrass looks like he's going to be going out on loan to Villa. Also, I think it was Sunderland as well that was sniffing. But just get rid of him as quick as possible, really. Just get him out, get them wages off the bill. Yeah. Also, there was a couple of little bits of rumours about Andy Carroll to Newcastle, but I think that's just one of them ones that pops its head up every now and then, no? Yeah, it pops its head up pretty much every window. I can't see it. I'd be more than happy. Like I say, I love Andy. I do. We've said it a million times. On his day, when he's fit, when he's firing on all cylinders, he's unplayable. He doesn't have them days long enough. He's obviously never going to be first choice now. So yeah, I mean, if a good offer came in for him, I would bite their hand off. I really would. I wish him well. Say thanks, mate. But yeah, it's time to move on. But I don't know. I can't see it. Another one on the outs was Saka, actually. A couple of rumours about Lazio. Yeah, I saw that, yeah. I know your thoughts on Saka. When he came on, a lot of people were saying he did well, but I thought he looked really slow. Like, you know, you got to think this guy ain't played football properly for about 2 years. He looked real well off the pace, like he's treading through mud. I don't know whether he'll get that sharpness back, but I don't think so personally. I personally think they've basically said to him, right, we're going to give you a couple of cameo appearances before the window shuts. Go out there, run about, show that you're fit, and try and get a move somewhere. Hopefully someone comes in for him and he goes. If nobody comes in for him and we don't sell him, it would not surprise me at all if just after the window closes he picks up another back injury and we don't see him again for the rest of the season. I really do feel like they've just said, listen, just go out there, run around for 20 minutes at the end of the game and try and get yourself a move.
I'll give him one bit of credit. He did very, very well for the goal, actually. Obviously, he headed it down, didn't he, for Hernandez, or headed it onto the bar, didn't he, or something?
I mean, that's the frustrating thing. That's the frustrating thing. He's a really, really good player. He's a really, really good player. But the attitude just stinks. His attitude just completely stinks, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
Yeah, we'll probably talk a little bit more about him going into the Newcastle preview a little bit later. Inns, like I say, Carvalho just rumbles on and on and on and on and on. I can see this being a bit of a Carlos Bacca one, where I think it will happen. I really do think it will happen. I think most of people who are watching this would have seen the social media tweet where his best mate's in the background giving it all that. I think he wants to come. I believe rumours that the contract's agreed. We need him, don't we? We really do need him.
Big time. Big time. He would plug such a massive hole in our team. And I think it would shore up the defence. It would give the defence more confidence. And it would give us a platform to build on going forwards as well. I think if we don't, I genuinely think if we don't sign either him or a player very much like him, a good defensive midfielder, we're going to be in for a very, very long season.
I think as well is if we keep missing out on these statement signings, we start looking a bit of a joke club, no?
I mean, you have to think as well. So say the likes of Hernandez, who's come in, what happens if, say, we don't get Carvalho over the line, we have a bad season, we end up finishing around sort of 16th. What's Hernandez going to be thinking next summer? Is he really going to be thinking, yeah, let's stay and stick around and let's see what happens? Or is he going to be thinking, right, I need a way out of here now? Because he's going to bang in goals this year. There's no doubt about it. You know, if we want to, it's great that we've signed him and it's great that we're signing players like that. But if we want to keep hold of them, we have to move, like we have to build on that. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, they're not going to stay for long.
Yeah. Some positive, Paul. Injuries. Some pictures out today. Manuel Lanzini training. Oh, thank God. I know he's your favourite, but he's been missed. There's no one who can unlock a defence in our team at the minute. There really isn't. And good thing.
Oh, of course. It's so exciting thinking about Lanzini and Hernandez linking up together, and Antonio as well. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, massive news. Can't wait to see him back. Like you say, we've really missed him. Someone to just unlock that defence. It's weird. Like Ayu's been kind of playing that role, just behind the striker, but it doesn't seem to have really been working, which is strange because I would have thought he'd be decent at that.
That is a question I've sort of seen floating around Twitter actually. But what is his position?
I don't know.
That's where I don't see where his role is for West Ham.
I think everybody's saying that. Everybody seems to be saying that, and I did read the other day. Apparently, Swansea fans were saying as well. Like he's a fantastic player if you can find out where to play him.
Yeah, because I don't think he's fast enough for the wing.
No,
to be honest.
Everything I've read seems to suggest he does best when he's left to be in a free role and just roam the pitch and do what he wants. Obviously, when you're playing poorly, you can't afford to carry a player like that. When you're playing well, you can kind of afford that luxury player, but when you're not playing well, you can't afford that. It just leaves you short. So that's probably why we haven't seen the best of him. I was expecting him to really have a good season this year. So much so, I put him in my dream team. I expected him to be banging in the goals in the fantasy football, but it doesn't look like it's really clicked for him at the minute.
Yeah. Let's sort of move on a little bit to Slav. Slav and defenders I've put sort of together here, mate. How long has Slav got for you to sort this problem out? I don't want to sit here and be the Slav slag-off show.
No. I mean,
he's making me nervous.
Let me say, first of all, I love Slav. I really do. I love Slav as our manager. I want him to be our manager for years and years to come. I really do. I want him to be our manager for years to come. But he's got 2 games. Well, not including the Cheltenham game. He's got 2 games to save his job. He has. If we don't get... We said this last week. If we don't get... We said 6 points from the first 4 games, we're in trouble. We're in trouble.
Well, even Jack said that, didn't he, last week? He said that they'd be worried at board level. Again, another stat come out. I don't like using stats, but a stat come out. Something like Slav's had 128 games now at West Ham. Conceded something like 78 goals, averaging... No, I think it was 78 games, conceded 128 goals. It was the other way around. And we're averaging nearly 2 goals a game. It's not good. It's not good.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Not. Yeah. It's shockingly bad. He can't... and again, we said this like a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. He doesn't seem to know how to organise the defence. It's really weird. And what I've seen being mentioned quite a lot the last week or so as well is we don't seem to have any identity. What type of club are we? What type of team are we? What type of football are we trying to play? Are we trying to play direct football? Are we trying to play tiki-taka passing football? Are we trying to play counter-attacking football? What are we... Like, when you watch us, we look like we haven't got a game plan. We don't have a style of football.
No, I don't think so.
Like we've mentioned before, it's as if you've just got 11 players together, chucked them on a pitch and said, go and do something, go and play football.
A lot of people are saying as well with Slav, why has he gone back to 4 at the back when the 5 at the back was looking good? And it seems sort of quite a modern formation that now, or even a 3 with further forward wing backs, using them more as wingers. I'd like to see that come back, to be honest, for the Newcastle game.
I would.
I've sort of touched on it on my preview that will be out later in the week, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously, he bought Zabaleta, so now he has to accommodate a right back.
He could play right centre back, no?
He could. I think he could. He could even maybe play just in front. I mean, I don't know. I don't know why he's gone back to that. And again, this comes down to, does Slav know what his best team is? Does he know what his best position is? Again, what type of football is he trying to play? I mean, I don't know. We don't seem to have any identity under Slav of what kind of team we are.
Yeah, I think we do need one more defender. I'd like to see Chris Smalling come in, if possible. I don't know. I just... Them two, Ogbono and Font, they make me nervous. Like that, they're not as bad as, but I'm looking at like Christian Daly sort of days where whenever they touch the ball, I get nervous.
I mean, it's so strange though. Again, talking about flipping this and sort of talking about Slav. Font's not a bad player. He didn't become a bad player overnight. He won the Euros for Portugal. Ogbonna played for Juventus. He's an Italian international. These are not bad defenders. They are not bad defenders. Like Winston Reid, unbelievable for us like the last few years, but this year he just doesn't look the same, and I can only put it down to the coaching. That's the only thing that I could put it down to.
I think there's a problem there with I don't know, trying to think of a good word, like the G'ing up as well before games. Like they don't seem up for it. The players, they never seem like they're going out right in your face, apart from the Tottenham game that sticks out last year. But I don't know, they don't seem like there's fight. Yeah, they did well to back 10 men, get back to 2-2, but I don't know, that we shouldn't need to get back to 2-2. I think that's the point.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So loads of rumours that Slav has actually only got 2 games, mate, as well. There's a few rumours floating around that we're looking. I don't know, I'd be sad, but I think that let's just look at him as a manager. Is he good enough? Not compassion that he's a hammer and, did some good things. As a manager, at this moment, if it was not Slaven Bilic, any other man doing the same, would you be happy to keep him?
No, that's the truth. And it's not. I don't want it to seem like we're jumping on a bandwagon or anything like that, because I've been saying this since last season. If you go back and watch our videos from the end of last season, I was saying exactly the same thing. And I said back then, it's on video, I said things were bad last season and I don't see how anything's going to change next year, which is obviously this year now. And let's be perfectly honest, nothing's changed. We've brought in better players, but nothing's changed. We're the same. We're playing the same.
The Allardyce effect has worn right off now, hasn't it? The Allardyce sort of organisation has gone. I did see some ridiculous rumour about James Tompkins, wanting James Tompkins back. Like, listen, he was a good player, but that's not where we want to go as a club.
Yeah, he's not the answer to our problems. He's not like some defensive saviour. Is he even playing regularly for Palace?
Don't think so. And if he is, he's not doing very well, is he? Because they're conceding goals. Yeah. They conceded 3 against Huddersfield, so he's not doing very well, is he?
Well, the way we're going, we'll probably concede 4, mate, but still.
Yeah. Let's move on to Newcastle, mate. We've done a really good preview this week, guys, so check that out when that goes out. But whilst we've got Paul here, we get some thoughts from him. They've not scored a goal, so put your money on Newcastle to score a goal. They've got no John Jodo, who loves scoring against us. They do have Mo Diarmi, though. Doesn't get in the first team, but expect him to probably come on and score. They don't look great. You know. I'm trying to be like a neutral fan looking here now, not a West Ham fan looking at the game. They look like they could be the whipping boys this year at the moment.
I mean they haven't strengthened since they've come up, really. Sounds like there's sort of problems between the manager and the board, as there always seems to be with Mike Ashley. They don't look good, and on paper you have to say like we should win this game relatively easily, but as we all know, nothing's ever easy when it comes to West Ham. That's the problem. That is the problem with West Ham at the minute. I don't feel any way confident that we'll go and beat Newcastle.
No, I don't at all. I'm thinking draw. I'll be honest with you.
It's not a good situation. It really ain't. And I'll tell you what.
It looks like we're going to concede. That's the problem. It looks like we're always going to be at least 1 goal down.
Yeah.
And have we got 2 goals in us?
And I'll tell you, if we don't put in a really good performance and get some kind of confidence boost from the Newcastle game, I reckon Huddersfield will turn us over.
I do. They look really confident. They're playing really well. They've won 2 in 2.
They're really up for it. They're fighting. So, yeah, I mean, if Newcastle for me is an absolute must-win game. I
have massive fears of what happens if we go 1-0 down. Like, again, the confidence is just going to be set completely. If we go 1-0 up, I think we'll go on and possibly cruise to a good victory. But we go 1-0 down, and then Newcastle fans start getting up for it. I got real fears.
Yeah.
Real fears.
Yeah.
Would you like to see Ginge coming on Saturday?
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. The only thing is what I don't like is I really don't like chopping and changing the team, especially the defence. You know, we're having problems with defence and conceding goals. The last thing you want to be doing is constantly changing your centre-back pairing every week. And I know, obviously, Reid got injured, which forced a change. But he was going to change it. It was going to be Font and Reid. So he was going to drop Ogbonna. So then, like, I think pick your team and stick with your team. Do you know what I mean? Pick your best players, stick with your best players. Let them get some kind of understanding. Let them build a partnership together. Don't chop and change them every week, because then they're never going to get used to playing with each other.
Noah Nautovic, obviously, sort of touched on that. Looks like it's going to be a 3-game ban. Is this a chance to go 2 up top? If I'm thinking, I would like to see the 5-3-2 formation and possibly play Sacco and Hernandez together.
Putting aside my dislike for Sacco, because I really, really can't stand him, yeah, that would be fantastic to see. It really would. I wish it could be anybody apart from Sacco, to be perfectly honest. But I mean, yeah, there's a possibility. I don't think he will, but there is a possibility.
The only thing we're playing, actually, because Antonio will play right wing back, couldn't he? I was thinking you eliminate wingers then, but he'll play right wing back.
Well, he could play Byram, couldn't he?
Yeah, he could play.
So
Byram.
he could always play Byram and then play Antonio up front, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. And if Tony Martinez has a good game tonight, this will go out to obviously the Cheltenham game will be being played. There's a chance that he could get in. You know, if he scores against Cheltenham, then he's got a chance to probably go up there and play. I'm really, really nervous though. If we lose, we go into that international break really low on confidence. Huddersfield game, like you say, you're over for that game, mate. That's going to be massive pressure cooker of a game. But we'll talk about that one next week. What are your predictions then, mate? Like I say, I think we're going to score draw.
Do you know, I'm going to be optimistic.
It's not a good result.
I'm going to be optimistic. And I'm going to say we're going to win 2-0. I'm going to have some hope.
I hope so, mate. If we win, I think we'll start going up. See, it's not a fair reflection of our position at the moment. I think like Man United game, that's one of them gimme games. And then the Southampton game, we should have at least got a point out of that, really. 2 silly penalties and stuff. Is there anything else very quickly before I move on to the questions?
No, I haven't really seen much news this week, to be honest. It's been.
I think it will be all kick off next week. I think if we lose as well, it'll kick off even more. Okay, let's go. Loads and loads of questions. Paul McMahon, if and only if we got rid of Slav, which manager would you go for? I'd personally like to see Sean Dyche or Eddie Howe.
I don't know about Dyche. Eddie Howe, I mean, everyone's been touting Eddie Howe for a long time. Obviously, he seems to be a good young up and coming manager. I can't see him coming to West Ham. I don't think he would. I mean, I'm being perfectly honest. If Slav went, I don't know. I really do not know.
No, I can see. Again, this Newcastle thing could instigate Rafa coming as well.
It's a funny one. The only thing that worries me is that if we let Slav go, David Gold and David Sullivan might revert to that. Oh right, we need someone safe. We need another Allardyce sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Which I'd hate to see. I'd really hate to see. But I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know what managers are out there that will be available.
It's tough. It's tough. Just after the transfer, again, like if you're saying, Paul, 2 games, that will literally be the transfer window's closed. They've backed Slav heavily. They're not going to sack him. I don't think they will. I don't think they will after 2 games.
I don't know. If we go 4 games into the season without a single point on the board,
maybe the manner of the. It could be the manner. If we lose, if we go up Newcastle, we can get spanked. Huddersfield spank us. He's got to go. Okay. Duncan Cherney. Are we better with 3 centre backs or a flat back 4?
At the moment, we seem to be better with 3. Obviously, it's hard to say because we haven't seen this new look West Ham team. I say new look West Ham team. There's only a couple of new players that are playing regularly, but
the 3 got us over the line last year, didn't he? They got us to safety, switching to a back 3, and our influential was Ginge last year in the back 3. That's why I would personally like to see Ginge come back in. To be honest with you, people wrote a little article today actually saying about he sort of thinks it's the end of his time at West Ham.
All right,
but I think he's sort of fearing that vibe that he might not get a chance again now. But for me, I think he's still got a role to play.
100%. Oh yeah, I'd be gutted to see him leave because he has still got a role to play. You know, in certain games, 100% he has. I wouldn't want to see Ginge leave at all. Are we better with 3 at the back? You'd have to say at the moment we're not very good with 4 at the back, so it can't be much worse.
Just on that, Paul, something I forgot to mention. Obviously, he did get injured, but great to see Winston Reid did sign a new contract.
Yes, yeah.
Because he is a good player. He is a good player. I'm a big fan of Winston. West Ham life. Who was better, Scott Parker in his prime at West Ham or Noble in the bowling season? Do you really want my answer?
That's a stupid question. Luke,
Scott Parker won Player of the Year.
Yeah.
If you want to go there, Scott Parker won Player of the Year.
Scott Parker was fantastic for us. Absolutely. In his prime, in his best season for us, Scott Parker was fantastic. So, yeah, it's a stupid question. Although I want to say, for the record, everyone knows what Luke thinks about Noble. I do like Mark Noble. I like Noble. I do like Nobes a lot. And he was very, very good that season. I think the emotion and the passion of the last season at the bowling really lifted him. Obviously Parker.
Yeah, he won Player of the Year that year, like in a relegated team. I don't even need to ask Paul for his answer, but I'm going to ask him anyway. Same guy. Do you think we should have a cold testimonial? It would never happen, but I can dream.
Well, yeah, of course we should. Apparently he's
at Southend.
He's at Southend, yeah.
I will be getting a Southend season. Just up the road to me.
Yes, Colton should be having a testimonial. Bring back Colton for a testimonial. We need another striker. Bring back Colton.
Yeah, bring back Colton. Claret and Blue East End. Does Bilic deserve a new deal if we were to finish 11th to 8th? Between 11th and 8th.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, the way that the league is at the minute, that's a big gap. If you finished 8th, that's a good season. If you finished 11th, it's probably a disappointing season. I think that's too big of a gap.
I think top 10 at least.
Yeah, I mean, if he finishes top 10, then yeah, I'd say yeah, happy days, give him a new contract. I know it seems quite harsh to say, oh yeah, 10th he gets a new contract, 11th he don't. But we have to be aiming for top 10 finishes. Like I said earlier, I really like Slav, I really do, and I love him as our manager, and I'd love him to be our manager for years to come. But he has to earn it. He can't, just because he's a nice guy and he gets West Ham, that doesn't mean anything. He has to earn that. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. Bilic out. I wonder what his question is going to be. Question: how many games has Bilic got left? Or how many games is Bilic going to lose before we get rid of him? It can't keep going on. Well, Paul reckons 2. What do you, I think. I don't know. I think they'll give him to Christmas. I'll be honest. I think he'll get at least till Christmas.
I don't know. It's hard, isn't it? It depends. They've spent a lot of money. Well, have they or haven't they? Apparently, they've spent a lot of money this summer. They're going to want to see a return on it.
Like we say, I don't want to just sit him and say I like Slav because he's a nice guy. We really do need to. This is me doing a Claret and Blue sunglasses. How I accuse people of doing it with Mark Noble. This is me doing it with Slav a bit, really. And you need to take him off and look at him as just a manager. And there are definitely huge question marks over his setups of teams. I don't know. Sometimes his substitutions are very questionable as well for me. Yeah, I don't know. This will rumble on, I believe, for quite a while. LJ Collins, who would you want as a centre back if you could get one in realistically?
Well, realistically, I think we've mentioned him a few times today. Smalling, I'd be happy.
What about that's another transfer one we've not mentioned actually. Sacco from Liverpool. What about him?
Yeah, I'd love to. Again, he'd be another one. It'd be great to come in. He's a bit of a beast. Yeah, I'd be more than happy for him to come in. Yeah,
I'd be happy with that. Kieran Kesey, I think that's how you pronounce it. Do you think Chicharito will get any game time tonight? So he's talking about the Cheltenham game.
No,
I don't think so. We can't risk him. We can't risk him getting injured with the Newcastle game coming.
No.
Lewis John E. Why is Bilic still our manager? He is clueless. Mistake after mistake. The Dildo brothers won't sack him as they don't want to pay him out.
I mean,
do you agree? Do you agree they don't want to pay him out? Are they being skint with him?
Yeah, I think they've got form with that. I mean, they should have sacked Allardyce. They basically told him he was going to go, and then left him on to the end of the season, which was stupid. That sense of things, yes, I agree. They wouldn't want to sack him, but things are very different now than they were back then. Now we're in this new stadium. We need to stay in the Premier League. They've just spent a lot of money on some big marquee signings. They're going to be expecting a lot more now than they were a few years ago. So I think it's different. I think it's a different situation. I think there's too much at risk, and I don't think they'd gamble. I think if it come to it, I think they'd sack him.
Let us know, guys. Let us know what you think. Do you agree with Paul? SB, is it true that Charlie Austin has no ligaments in his knees? Well, clearly not, because he put in a penalty, and that was another banker as well. As soon as he come on,
do you know what? I actually said it to someone when he stepped up for that penalty. I'd laugh so much if his knees went on the run up. Can you imagine?
I really like Charlie Austin. He reminds me of Dean Ashton.
Yeah,
I'm quite a fan of him. I like him. Toby, why do we continue to buy players that are over the hill? We need to build a team for the next 5 to 10 years. No short-term signings and loans. I don't know. I think barring Zabaleta, I don't think we've really bought any over the hills. No,
we haven't. I don't.
This year.
I don't agree with that at all. No, I mean, you look at what's Hernandez, 28, 29?
Yeah,
he's definitely not over the hill. What's Arnautovic?
27. Hart 27, 28.
Yeah, I mean, no, I don't agree with that statement at all. No.
Yeah, no, I don't. Canning Townland, great guy. Luke, how did you dispose of Lee's body? Well, he's not in the closet anymore. I think he's on his way now to his secret location for his work. But I'll let you know, Len, next time. Which country is Lee emigrating to? Will you now change your name to the Two Hammers? No, we've discussed this a couple of weeks ago. We will remain as the Three Hammers because we'll probably be having guests on throughout the season.
And Lee, it's worth mentioning as well. Lee's still a bat. Lee hasn't just. Lee's not gone from. He
actually posted a picture of himself at Southampton.
Yeah, he's not. Lee's not gone from the channel completely. I know he hasn't been on the podcast a couple of weeks, but that's because he's been moving house and he's moving country and stuff. Lee's not. He's not gone. Like Lee's still part of the Three Hammers. So yeah, we're gonna keep the name. But yeah, sorry, go on.
Yeah, he's not emigrating either. He's actually. He works for the Foreign Office and he's going to be working for the British Embassy in Belarus. So yeah. There you go. That wraps it all up. It's no secret job. He's not a government agent. That's all just a joke that we play on this channel. And he also says if Bilic does get sacked, who we replace him with? Sort of touched on that already. Just moving on. 6'2". Does the third hammer really exist? If you could transfer another hammer vlogger, who would it be to your channel if you could?
No, I'm not even going to answer that question because Lee's one of us. Lee's one of the Three Hammers.
Lee is one of the Three Hammers. But if we could, I'd probably have someone like Spencer just so I can hit 2 million of his subscribers.
What about Bazinga? We'll get him on.
Oh, yeah, he's another one.
We should do a diss track. On Twitter. Mate, why haven't we jumped on the bandwagon? Why haven't we done a diss track?
Yeah, we should have just done a diss track. Yeah. Tom Godfrey. Will Declan Rice eventually feature in his rumoured favourite position centre-back, or do you see him as more as a midfielder? He's an excellent in midfield, but I see him as a future centre-back for us, actually. You got to think Font's on his way out, Collins on his way out. I think we'll see him starting at centre-back maybe maybe even the start of next year, you might see him. Good player, though. Good player. What do you guys make on the Obiang for sale rumours? And that was from Matt. I'll be sad. I'll be quite sad.
Yeah, I would. Obviously, just signed a new contract as well. I hope there's nothing to it because I'd like to see him stick around. If there is anything to it, I mean, there were whispers that he weren't happy and he wanted to go. When was that? Was that last season?
Yeah, last season, yeah.
So, I mean, there could well be something to it, especially if we're now looking to bring in Carvalho. Maybe he thinks that he won't have a place in the team anymore. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But, yeah, I'll be sad to see him go.
Well, what do you make of that midfield, though, of Carvalho and Chiatti, if that happens? That is absolute monsters in that midfield.
Yeah, it'd be fun to watch.
Yeah,
because that's the thing as well. We've got, like, you look at when we played Man United, and Matic just was a presence. He was, and I always thought Fellaini, like a lot of Man United fans don't rate Fellaini, but I always thought he's one of them players that you hate playing against.
Oh, yeah, he's not technically good, but he's a nuisance.
Yeah, he's a nuisance, and he just bullies players, and he's a big presence, and he's an intimidating presence in that midfield. And that's, I think, the same now. Matic is that as well for Man United. Obviously, Matic is a fantastic player too, but we haven't got that. We haven't got that big, intimidating player in the midfield. Like we just get walked through. I think that's been the problem in the last 2 games. We've just been walked through in midfield because there's no stopper
bashing through.
Yeah,
and that's what we need. If you have Chiatti and Carvalho, Jesus Christ, that is 2 monsters, like I say. Matthew, This one in, one out transfer policy, personally, I like the idea, but would love to hear you guys. So, remainder of the transfer window, do you like the one in, one out policy, or would you like to see us just splash a bit more cash?
I mean, obviously, I'd always like to see us just splash a bit more cash. I mean, it's sensible, one in, one out. You know, there's no point in stockpiling players that ain't going to play. It really depends on the players that you bring in, I suppose, doesn't it? And the players that you sell. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Like I say, you do get to a point where you can't keep selling, obviously. We've probably only got a few more left that we could actually sell, to be honest. But, I wouldn't mind. I personally think we could do with 3 more players, to be honest. I think we could do with 3 more. But, let me know, guys, what you think. I would like to see a striker, a defender, and obviously Cavallio come in. For me, that would be what we need. Maybe even a winger. I don't know. You could just keep going. Smokey Joe says the elbow Chicharito took 15 minutes before Arnie was worse than what Arnie delivered. What do you guys think?
Did it? I didn't see that. If he did he take an elbow?
Yeah, because they're saying that. What sort of question was aiming at there was, do we see sort of Arnautovic as like the sort of hard man of the team, and he was sort of just going out and getting revenge?
I don't know if he's a hard man. I think he's a hothead. I think he's got a temper on him, and I think he can lose his temper easily. But what he did was just stupid.
I agree with listen, Southampton deserved at least 1 red card, to even it up at some point, didn't they? Josh for reals, what team would you field tonight, I'm going to say, for the Cheltenham game, given the results so far this season? Bilic cannot afford defeat. I'll tell you what, I'll do it very, very quickly. I'd like to see Adrian, Byram, Collins. I would like to see Rice in at centre-back, Masuaku, Obiang, Fernandez, Martinez, Holland perhaps on the wing, and then maybe Antonio given another sort of 60 minutes again to get fit.
You're missing one.
Oh, missing one. We'll go Sacco as well. Go on. Get him some more minutes.
Yeah, that's a decent team. I'd be happy.
But saying that, I would like to see that Habakalalovic as well, to see what he's about.
Haksabanovic, something like that.
Yeah. John Childs, Joe Hart is rubbish. Adrian should be starting. What do you think?
He's not rubbish. He's not rubbish. Obviously, he hadn't had the best start to his West Ham career, conceding 8 goals. Sorry, not 8 goals, 7 goals. But 2 penalties. I don't think he could have done much about most of the other goals, to be honest. I will say there's probably at least 1, maybe 2 that I think Adrian might have saved with his legs. Adrian's very good at coming out and blocking shots with his legs, which Hart doesn't seem to have in his locker. He tries to get down and dive for everything. He seems to be a bit weak on his left side. He's not a bad player. Don't get me wrong, I've said many times, I think Adrian's a fantastic goalkeeper.
You're only as good as the defence in front of you as well at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Jack, why are we concentrating so hard on bringing in a defensive midfielder when we have Pedro, Noble, and not buying a creative midfielder like Lanzini? Because
we haven't got that. Like Noble and Obiang they're not proper defensive midfielders. They're central midfielders. They're not proper defense. Like we said a minute ago, we haven't got that big unit, that big presence, that big scary midfielder. Obiang and Noble.
Spoiler. You ain't got a spoiler.
Yeah, Obiang and Noble ain't that. They ain't that. And then if you look at attacking midfielders, yes, we've got Lanzini. We haven't really got a like-for-like replacement for Lanzini. But we've got Ayew who can play there. We've got Arnautovic who can play there. You know, you've got Fernandez who can play there. So, you know, there are options.
Costa Hammer, it's very similar questions all day, actually. Last season with a back 4, 22 games, 12 losses, 5 draws, 20 points. With 3 centre-halves, it was 16 games, 5 losses, 4 draws, 25 points. Why do we keep playing 4? Well, it's sort of been the theme of the show, really. Yeah, we do need to go back to the 5, I think, especially if we don't get nothing on Saturday. Yeah. Last question, Andy Smith. Do we do enough in pre-season to be ready for the start of the season? Do we gain anything by using 25 different players against German teams? We always look off the pace, and that's the last question, Andy. Very good question, actually.
I agree completely with what he's basically saying there, and yeah, I mean, I think we kind of touched on it actually in one of our videos pre-season. I agree. I don't, when you're coming into the pre-season games, especially the last couple of games before the season starts, for me, Bilic should have his preferred team in his mind, and that's the team that should be playing in them games. As we said before, getting used to playing with each other, starting to build a game plan and an identity for the team and what way you want to play, and start implementing that and practicing it. But yeah, trying like 25 different players is not going to do that.
Right, yeah, that's it, Paul. All the questions for this week. Unfortunately, we just missed the 2K by 16 subscribers, guys. So it looks like it's going to roll over till next week till I can announce the winner. Yeah, but again, views are going up, comments are going up, likes are going up. Brilliant. And it's all down to you guys putting in that work. Let's hope, guys, that I'm giving you a win this weekend in my review. And let's even hope that I'm giving you a win for the Cheltenham game. It'll be an unedited review. That's what we're trying to do so we can get more content out. We'll edit some of the videos, but some of the videos won't be edited so we can just keep the content coming out for you. Yeah, keep sending the questions in, guys. Give us a like, give us a comment, tell your friends about us, get us to 2,000. Then obviously the target's 2,500. But yeah, until then, it's goodbye from me. Goodbye from Paul. Come on, you irons. Let's go.
Cheers.